Welcome to Rise Anyway, a space where we explore what it means to rebuild, to grow, and to start again. I'm Guy Christ. Every episode is a quiet reminder that no matter how far you've fallen, you can always rise anyway. Rise Anyway, Ep.6, the story of Nick Vujicic, finding purpose without limits. Nick Vujicic came into the world without arms or legs. Born in 1982 in Melbourne, Australia, he arrived with tetraamelia syndrome, a condition so rare that even his doctors had never seen it before. His parents, devout and heartbroken, struggled to understand how to raise a child whose every movement, every daily task, would defy convention. As a boy, Nick felt the sharp edges of the world early. The stares, the whispers, the cruel jokes. He wondered if he would ever live a normal life, have a job, a family, a reason to wake up. At 10 years old, despair took him to the edge. He tried to drown himself in a few inches of bathwater, ready to surrender. But something pulled him back, the image of his parents weeping. If I ended my life, he would later say, I'd be leaving them with pain, not peace. That moment, in his words, became the start of a different fight, not against his body, but against hopelessness. In school, a janitor noticed something in Nick others didn't. He told him, "You should share your story. People need to hear it." That small encouragement lit a spark. By 17, Nick was speaking at youth events, his words carrying more power than any limbs ever could. He learned to type with his toes, to swim, to use a computer, and eventually graduated from Griffith University with a degree in commerce, majoring in accounting and financial planning. Each milestone wasn't just personal, it was proof. Proof that preparation can be an act of rebellion against limitation. By his early 20s, Nick was traveling, sharing his story of purpose beyond circumstance. His message was simple and unforgettable. Your limitations may be real, but they do not have the final word on your purpose. The world began to listen. By 2008, he had spoken in over a dozen countries, appeared on major media, and founded Life Without Limbs, a non-profit dedicated to inspiring and supporting people around the world. He once said, "I can be angry about not having limbs, or I can be thankful that I have a purpose. I chose gratitude. It wasn't a slogan, it was survival." Through Nick V Ministries, he has reached millions in prisons, schools, and stadiums. He didn't just preach resilience, he built tools for it. With Attitude is Altitude, he helped design classroom programs teaching empathy and courage. His speeches and lessons became resources for teachers helping kids navigate bullying, self-doubt, and fear. He brought laughter too. On stage, he jokes about going to a restaurant so good it cost me an arm and a leg. The laughter disarms, and then he lands the lesson. I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and give up, will I ever get up? No, if I fail, I'll try again and again. Because it's not the end. Then, he demonstrates. He falls face down on a table, and using his head and hip, lifts himself back up. The room always falls silent, watching a metaphor made real. Nick's story isn't about a lone hero. It's about a web of care. Parents who refused pity. A janitor who saw a message in a teenager. Teachers who gave him space to speak. And friends who helped turn that message into a movement. He often says, when you don't get a miracle, you can still be a miracle for someone else. Nick's legacy isn't just motivational videos or speeches. It's the redefinition of what it means to live fully. He built a global platform, married, became a father of 4, and continues to travel and write. But beyond the milestones, his life stands for one idea. Gratitude is not a feeling, it's a discipline. Hope is not luck, it's practice. Purpose isn't found, it's chosen. Nick Vujicic's story is not about invincibility. It's about choosing purpose in the face of pain, choosing gratitude when life seems unfair, and choosing to get up again, even when the world tells you that you can't. I can be angry about not having limbs, or I can be thankful that I have a purpose. I chose gratitude. If I fail, I'll try again and again. Because it's not the end. A boy who almost ended his story at 10 now spends his life helping others keep theirs going. That's not luck. That's legacy. Thanks for listening to Rise Anyway. If today's story moved you, share it with someone who might need a reason to keep going. You can follow the show for new reflections every week, and remember, you can't change the past, but you can always change the path you're on.